I've 18F, been with my boyfriend 18M for 4 years, but I keep wanting more slash change. Is this normal? I regret having to turn to Reddit to discuss this issue, but here it goes. What should I do about my relationship? We have been together for 4 years now. Recently, I have been reflecting on this a great deal, and I have come to realize that trust is at the core of all our problems. I always thought I was just excessively jealous, but I think the real issue is my struggle to trust him, even over minor matters. My inability to fully trust him stems from his tendency to tell small lies, which breeds distrust. He claims to trust me completely, and I often feel guilty for not trusting him entirely, but I recognize that my honesty has always been unwavering. He lies about trivial matters, such as the friends he is with or his whereabouts. Although he is not doing anything harmful, he chooses to conceal the truth. For instance, he might exaggerate about what he ate for breakfast, the friends he enjoys spending time with, or even fabricate a story about his daily activities. He frequently alters his preferences as well, and this pattern drives me insane. Whenever I express my jealousy or insecurity, he questions, "What have I ever done to make you think I would cheat on you?" While he is correct that he has never given me a reason to doubt him, these small lies leave me wondering if he would be dishonest about more significant issues. Another concern is that he does not love me in the manner I desire, which may sound selfish. I wish he would pay more attention to the little things about me. I always remember the silly details, such as the energy drinks he enjoys, his preferred colors, his favorite shorts, or the music genre he is currently interested in. However, he rarely remembers details about me. I go out of my way to get him snacks when he is unwell, send him affectionate messages, and engage in similar acts because I genuinely want to. While he has done those things before, he only does so when prompted. I wish he would take the initiative to notice things about me without requiring reminders. I know he loves me, but I wish he would express it more openly. He doesn't randomly tell me I look beautiful, compliment my outfits, or offer any compliments at all. I love him dearly, yet at times, my desire for more overshadows the good in our relationship. I recognize his love, but I dislike having to ask for affection. Perhaps it is normal to request compliments in relationships. Maybe my expectations are simply too high. Lately, I have observed how different our values are, particularly regarding right and wrong. His friends exhibit withdrawn, immature behavior, and he never acknowledges the issues in their actions. They share crude remarks about women in their group chats, and even though my boyfriend does not partake in that conversation, these are the individuals he chooses to associate with. Our overall levels of maturity are vastly different. I know I am merely 18 and a college freshman, so it may seem foolish to contemplate this given that we began dating during our early years. Yet, I love him infinitely and genuinely want to remain in this relationship. We have had countless discussions, but recently, we have been arguing more frequently, which I think is due to my newfound clarity regarding these concerns. Our disputes tend to center around the same recurring themes: trust and differences. I often approach him with my concerns, and he has remarked that I frequently ask him to work on matters. However, I too want what is best for myself. He seems content with minimal effort, while I consistently exceed his expectations. I don't mean to sound arrogant, but I realize he would likely be fine with less effort from me, yet I choose to give my all because I genuinely want to. This leaves me questioning whether I should stop putting in so much effort. Nonetheless, I love expressing my affection. It is just part of who I am. At times, I feel somewhat irrational in this relationship, as if I am the only one grappling with issues. However, perhaps neither of us is at fault. Maybe we simply express love differently, and I need to come to terms with that. He does not offer what I desire unless I request it, and I do not want to have to make requests. Meanwhile, he never has to ask anything of me, and I willingly offer. He also rarely reflects deeply on matters. I might need to accept his style of affection because I acknowledge that he loves me, but I yearn to feel that effort. I often find myself comparing our relationship to others at this stage. I feel envious of individuals on social media whose boyfriends write sweet letters when feeling down, craft homemade gifts, surprise them with spontaneous outings, or provide constant compliments. I'm aware that this mindset is toxic, and I have occasionally mentioned these comparisons. Yet, I hope he picks up on hints, even when I explicitly tell him how I wish to be loved. A part of me is scared that breaking up might be the right choice, yet I do not want to go down that path. I cherish him deeply, and we have shared countless wonderful memories. The truth is, he is such a genuinely sweet person. He is wonderful, loving, and always treats me with gentleness. Yet we are so fundamentally different. I want to stress that differences can be acceptable. I am just afraid that I am attempting to mold him into someone who loves me the way I want to be loved, which may not be feasible. However, penning all of this down makes it seem like breaking up is the conclusion, and that terrifies me. There have been no instances of infidelity or betrayal between us, and we handle our arguments maturely, always finding resolution. Still, the same issues repeatedly arise, and I am at a loss for how to proceed. He will soon be heading off to college, and I know I could not endure a long-distance relationship if this level of mistrust persists. Despite that, I am certain that I would still want to be with him, even if it caused me pain. I also do not have many friends. I am quite introverted, and the thought of being alone terrifies me. I do not want to lose him, yet I constantly wonder if I deserve better. Am I asking too much? Can he genuinely change? Or does he simply not grasp how critical this is for me? To me, it feels as though he is not investing enough effort. I simply wish to know if I should accept his approach to loving me, even though I feel he does not exert enough energy to meet my needs. I am also uncertain about how to handle the trust issue. I apologize for the length of this post, but I appreciate you taking the time to read it. I have never really posted on Reddit before, but I have never felt so emotionally conflicted about an issue like this, especially since he is such an integral part of my life. I recognize that I might come off as pathetic. It is just challenging. In summary, I have been in a 4-year relationship with my boyfriend, and while I know he loves me, trust has consistently been a problem. He tends to be dishonest about small, insignificant things, which deepens my feelings of insecurity and jealousy, despite his never having caused me real harm. I also wish he would show more attention and affection spontaneously, without my needing to ask, although I understand he cares for me. Perhaps it is selfish of me. I am left wondering if I should accept his way of expressing love, or if changes need to occur for both of us. What should I do? I do not wish for breaking up to be the only option unless it is undeniably necessary. Story 2. Am I the a-hole for telling my family I don't want anything to do with them? Preface. I, 21 female, do not tolerate disrespect well, even from my family. Recently, several relatives have been attempting to persuade me to attend the upcoming family gathering, despite being aware of my feelings regarding certain individuals who will be present. This has led me to question whether I may have been overly harsh. Part of me believes I have clearly expressed my feelings, and since nothing has changed, I do not feel my stance should shift either. A few months back, one of my aunts announced that she would not be giving Christmas gifts to anyone because she simply could not afford it. Keep in mind, this was unsolicited, and no one was expecting gifts from her in the first place. I cannot even recall the last time she gifted me or my younger siblings for Christmas, so we genuinely did not mind, considering she has always been the type to favor certain relatives with gifts. My youngest sibling, 16 female, and I were puzzled as to why she even brought it up. We are the ones who voice our opinions the most during family disagreements because we are unafraid to express our feelings and confront those who are in the wrong. Things took a turn when my mother sent a message in the group chat telling my aunt that we, the children of the family, do not care about gifts. We just want her to attend for us and avoid playing favorites when she does choose to give gifts. We have a large extended family. I mean, it is substantial. My mother has 6 children, 3 of whom have kids of their own, and she has 4 other siblings, 3 of whom also have children. So we all understand that expenses can accumulate, especially during the holidays and throughout the year with birthdays and various celebrations. The issue is that my aunt does not show up at all and only gifts items to a select few of her siblings' kids. This has been problematic our entire lives, and we have raised it with her numerous times, but each occasion she comes up with some excuse as to why she cannot treat us all equally. I joined the argument after she confronted my mother, blaming her for causing a problem without reason, while everyone else comprehended the situation. My mother is certainly not in a position to afford gifts for everyone either. She was merely suggesting that my aunt should not pick and choose who to converse with and treat kindly, if that makes sense. My aunt referenced that she had sent me $20 for my birthday, which had occurred a few months earlier, sent my other sister, 19, money when she graduated, and also forwarded money to my cousin, 22, male, for his birthday. As a side note, my cousin was the only male in the family apart from my uncle until my oldest nephew, 3, was born, and my aunt refers to him, the cousin, as the prince of the family and has always treated him exceptionally. This is not the cousin's fault. It is just frustrating because she is excessively focused on it. She even cried at my older sister's baby shower because she had not seen him in a while, but barely spoke to me or my younger sisters, even though it had been about a year since we last interacted with her. Anyway, I joined the conversation after she mentioned sending me money because she did not even call or text me, and I would have been unaware of the money if I had not checked Venmo for something else. It bothered me because how could you give someone a gift, not inform them, and then act as if it were a grand gesture deserving of praise? I texted her afterward to say thank you. I just believe that if you send someone money, at least send a text to inform them first. I have another cousin, 14, who is currently in my aunt's care, and her birthday falls within the same week as mine. The cousin I previously mentioned, 22, male, also has a birthday at the end of the same month as mine. In 2023, a few days after my birthday, we threw a party for the cousin my aunt is looking after. I was unaware they were coming to town. They live 2 hours away, until a few days beforehand, and had already arranged to take my sisters, who were visiting from across the country, to get their nails done and go shopping. The appointment was already booked, so I did not want to cancel, and since I was unaware of my cousin's visit, I did not budget for her. However, I did spend the morning preparing for the party and conversed with another aunt, one I also dislike, but we will address that later, and then I departed with my sisters. The first aunt did not speak to me at all while I was there, and a few months later, during another baby shower, she began arguing with my mother and refused to participate in any of the games I had organized for the event. Returning to the birthday celebration, the second aunt provided both of my cousins with gift cards, while I received nothing despite my 20th birthday occurring just days earlier. She subsequently sent a nasty message in the group chat, insisting I should prioritize family and should have spent time with them because we only see each other once a year. This was the moment I decided to disengage entirely because I was in fact prioritizing my family. My sisters live across the country, and I had not seen them in about a year at that time. Those aunts live just up the freeway and never even bother to text or call me. They always find something to criticize about the clothes I wear, my makeup, how thin I am, or make comments about how I am not doing something they believe I should be doing. Yet I have never seen them do this to anyone else, and it has been this way since my childhood. The first aunt literally told me I need to spend more time with my nieces and nephews, but I am with them constantly, and they FaceTime me almost every day. It just felt like she was projecting heavily, and I could only roll my eyes at her. During Thanksgiving, I went to my boyfriend's family home as I have been doing for years. We have been together since 2020, while my sisters, grandfather, and one of my aunts, the only one I do like, gathered for a get-together. I did not attend because I was an hour away. The first aunt commented about my absence in the group chat, but she was not even present. I ignored it but struggled not to confront her. When I addressed them during Christmas about mentioning giving me money, I pointed out that not one of them, except the aunt I like, attended my high school graduation celebration, an art show I organized because I knew no one would come to the ceremony. I did not attend myself because of this, and not a single family member showed up when I graduated from college last year with a certificate. I am the only one among my 9 siblings and all my cousins to walk across a college graduation stage, and this individual attempted to downplay it by saying, "You told me it was just a certificate," completely dismissing how significant that accomplishment is. She also claimed she was unaware that I had graduated high school, but I sent her a graduation card, invited the entire family to the art show, and she literally commented on my posts on both Facebook and Instagram featuring me holding my diploma, with captions emphasizing my achievement in graduating. Afterward, I informed my 2 aunts that I wanted nothing to do with them, and now others are suggesting I should attend the next event because they all claim to miss me. Am I the antagonist for standing up to them? I did not even express everything I wanted to say. I felt that what I communicated was relatively mild considering how they have treated me, especially over the last 2 years. Story 3. Please shake some sense into me. 28F. About my BF 30M. I, 28, female, have been in a relationship with my boyfriend, 30, male, for approximately 6 months. We officially made our relationship public at the beginning of this month after navigating some differences together. I genuinely believe we share a wonderful bond. I find him compelling both emotionally and physically. While we have numerous disagreements, we actively strive to compromise. One of our main disagreements concerns finances. I feel more romantic when he covers expenses, but he perceives this as unfair and prefers an equal partnership where both parties contribute equally or, at the very least, offer to pay. Although this perspective is new to me, money is not a significant issue for me when I truly care about someone. He earns a higher income than I do. I work 2 jobs and my expenses surpass his. In fact, my mortgage exceeds his rent alone. While this detail may not be crucial, it's worth mentioning. He tends to be very organized and structured, which I respect, but he can also be judgmental. He has remarked that I do not take care of my possessions and that my jobs are low-effort positions. I work as a flight attendant and serve as a cocktail waitress at a casino. He also believes I struggle with self-control. I recognize I am neither a scientist nor a medical professional. I aspire to become a pilot someday, but at the moment, I am balancing 2 jobs to make ends meet and lack the time to pursue that dream. Right now, it feels like he continually judges me and views me as inferior. I can acknowledge that I have issues with self-control and addiction. My father was an addict and tragically passed away from an overdose in 2019. As a child, I was exposed to numerous things I shouldn't have been, including substances and inappropriate content. I won't delve into specifics here, but this background has contributed to my struggles with escapism and maintaining boundaries, particularly with myself. A few nights ago, I wanted to create a special experience for us. I reserved a spot at an event that offered unlimited wine, and the waitress kept refilling my glass. I estimate that I consumed about 3 glasses. Toward the end of the evening, he expressed that he felt as if he had to oversee me. I was neither stumbling nor being rude or disrespectful to anyone. I was thrilled, and we were discussing how clean he is, which I admire. We joked about how he is good at cleaning, and I can be a bit frivolous. I referenced a couple from TikTok, Levy and William, where Levy began as an OnlyFans model and has since become a well-known brand collaborator and TikTok influencer. William, her fiancé, always supported her OnlyFans venture and assists with content creation. He takes care of household chores while she predominantly serves as the breadwinner. I was expressing my admiration for their dynamic when a disagreement arose, as he perceives OnlyFans as a low-effort job, implying that such work requires less ambition than pursuing traditional education. I was defensive because I believe strongly in supporting women and their choices regarding sex work. The argument escalated significantly to the point where he took me home, told me to be quiet at one point, and left. In my defensiveness, I said some foolish things, fueled by anger and the sudden shift in the mood of the evening, and I felt a sense of guilt about my drinking contributing to the conflict. I was upset that I had organized a special night for us, and he became tense over my playful comments, which, in my opinion, were not overly offensive. He said I was on the verge of being blackout drunk, but based on his account, I don't think it warranted such a severe reaction. I readily admit that my drinking is problematic and I was in the wrong, but I had no malicious intent. It was reckless of me, yet I believe it highlighted the differences in our perspectives. When he came over to discuss things, I feared we were on the brink of breaking up. He mentioned wanting to consult with close friends for advice and suggested we refrain from making any hasty decisions. We were supposed to go on vacation together this week. We hadn't made any bookings yet, but he proposed we postpone that. This morning, he texted that he wanted to talk again and that we should still consider going on vacation. He visited again today, and we tried to resolve our issues. It is clear that we both want to make this work, yet I find myself second-guessing everything, and my thoughts are racing. I feel as if he will never be genuinely proud of me. Moreover, there are additional concerns in our relationship. I sense a degree of misogyny in him because he frequently checks out other women, not in a blatantly disrespectful manner, but I can tell when he notices. Sometimes, he will even ask me questions like whether I think a woman's breasts are fake, which upsets me. This behavior makes me feel insecure, and I dislike that he objectifies and judges these women. I've communicated this to him, but he does not perceive his actions as misogynistic, insisting that it is just human nature to notice others. He claims that he does not act on or think about it sexually. Now, after what seemed to be a reconciliation at least partially, I discovered that his college ex-girlfriend, with whom he claims to maintain a friendship, shared an album with him from a vacation trip. Given the current state of our relationship, I inquired about it, as I am feeling particularly insecure. Her birthday was recently, and although he reached out to her, he asserts that it was simply a conversation about her trip and that she decided to share pictures afterward. He insists it's innocent, that there is no romantic connection, and that he is not interested in pursuing anything with her again. I feel overwhelmed by everything and would appreciate some clarity on the situation. I realize I may have omitted certain details, but these represent the primary challenges we've faced so far. One additional issue that emerged early in our relationship was when he invited a friend from out of town who had a terrible interaction with me and exhibited a rude demeanor. I was unaware his friend would be present that evening, as my boyfriend informed me only at the last minute. Toward the end of the night, the friend made lewd and inappropriate comments about me, including remarks about me being a man and insinuations regarding my boyfriend's cleanliness and my supposed health issue, which was quite offensive. Rather than defend me, my boyfriend joined in on the jokes, which I found alarming, especially at such an early stage in our relationship. He apologized profusely in the days that followed. While I understand that my boyfriend's sense of humor may not align with mine, the incident raised significant concerns for me. I am currently unsure of our standing, and we are expected to talk again tomorrow. I urgently seek assistance in understanding this situation better. I fear losing him, but I recognize that my apprehension largely stems from my anxiety about losing the comfort he provides. I have recently lost a close friendship, and I am terrified of losing another significant relationship. Throughout my life, I have experienced many losses, and I genuinely fear ending up alone because I struggle to connect with others. All I desire is to experience happiness and to feel loved for who I am, just once in my life. Story 4. Am I the a-hole for feeling FOMO in my long-term relationship? 21M. Hello. I have been reluctant to express these thoughts, but I believe it might be beneficial to share my feelings and gain some external insights instead of keeping everything inside and possibly making an impulsive choice. I hope anyone who reads this can understand my situation. I am a 21-year-old male in a committed relationship with my boyfriend, who is 22 years old, and we have been together for 3 years. We met when we were young and instantly formed a connection. Like any couple, we have faced challenges, but we have always resolved them through open communication, which I genuinely value as a symbol of our dedication. Our relationship has always been long distance, yet he resides in a nearby city, allowing us to see each other relatively frequently, at least once a month. My parents were high school sweethearts and have remained together ever since, so I have always felt a subconscious pressure to replicate that type of relationship, perceiving it as ideal. We care for each other deeply and have discussed a future together. That being said, I have consistently struggled to maintain my individuality. He tends to rely on our relationship for fulfillment, which I sometimes find endearing, but other times it feels suffocating. I have had to establish boundaries because he would become upset if I did not text him frequently or share my location. I acknowledge that this is not an ideal sign, but to his credit, he has genuinely attempted to respect my need for personal space. This independence is extremely important to me, especially as we navigate this stage of our lives. I do not want to lose my sense of self in the relationship. I desire for us to be two distinct individuals who love each other and choose to share our lives, rather than merging into one identity. As time has gone by, the initial excitement of our relationship has worn off, and I have recently begun to feel less emotionally invested. I recognize that I love him and wish for a long-term commitment. However, I cannot shake off this nagging doubt. My friends often complain about dating, hookup culture, and express envy towards what we have. From an outside perspective, our relationship appears flawless, which makes me feel guilty for questioning it. Yet, I also have friends who are enjoying their independence during college, and I sometimes wonder if I am missing out on experiences. Although it does not happen frequently, there are moments when I wish to go out and have fun with them, but my boyfriend has subtly influenced me to feel guilty about it. Over time, I began to avoid going out altogether, and when I did go out, I felt the need to hide it from him. Recently, I have found myself feeling impatient or irritated when he speaks, which I know is not fair, and it leaves me feeling terrible. Additionally, I have been receiving increased attention from other men, which is something entirely new for me. Growing up, I never perceived myself as conventionally attractive, and since I was in the closet, I missed out on those early dating experiences. Now that I am receiving attention, I feel a desire to explore that aspect of myself. I worry that if I do not pursue this, I may come to resent my boyfriend in the future. Recently, a man gave me his number, and I have not been able to stop thinking about it. He was very attractive and charming, but I do not want to act impulsively or out of lust. At the same time, I feel a responsibility to my future self to embrace more experiences while I am still young. I am not someone who frequently experiences these urges. My friends are obsessed with partying and drinking for that very reason, and I have been good at understanding what I truly want instead of making choices based on potential regret. This situation feels different. But what if I end up discarding something wonderful and genuinely regret it? To further complicate matters, my boyfriend did not even realize he was gay before we began dating. I have always sensed that he may feel similarly about the desire to explore. We have discussed it casually, often in a lighthearted, fantasy-driven manner, primarily in the bedroom, but the topic keeps resurfacing. He has even suggested the possibility of me sleeping with someone else and sharing the experience with him, but I have never taken it seriously since it has always been brought up in a moment of spontaneity. There was even a time when we downloaded a dating app together just for fun, chatted with some guys, and then deleted it afterward. We have both encountered slightly flirtatious messages on each other's phones before. Occasionally, I have engaged in conversations with random men anonymously online and felt guilty afterward, but I also do not want to feel constrained by conventional ideas of right and wrong when these feelings are valid human emotions that are complicated by my relationship, which I respect as well. Clearly, we have some issues to address, including trust concerns. I am uncertain about the best course of action. I do not have anyone to confide in about this, especially not my parents, who would likely encourage me to follow in their footsteps. Does anyone have any suggestions? I know that the healthiest option would be complete honesty with him. I have also contemplated acting on these feelings in secret just to satisfy my curiosity, but I recognize that would entirely breach our trust. Interestingly, when I visualize him being intimate with someone else, I do not think I would feel heartbroken. I would be surprised, undoubtedly, but it would not alter my feelings toward our relationship, and I would still feel secure within it. If it would benefit him, I would even be willing to encourage him to explore. I understand that human emotions are not black and white. Attraction can occur even in committed relationships, yet people often refrain from acting on those feelings. I just do not know where to draw the line between honoring my feelings and maintaining respect for our relationship. I genuinely care for him, which is precisely why I do not want to make a decision I might regret, whether that means staying in the relationship and harboring resentment later or stepping away and realizing I made a grave error. I recognize that the grass is not always greener and that I am incredibly fortunate to have him as a partner. He is intelligent, humorous, caring, and we share many similarities. I am fully aware of all these wonderful qualities, yet I cannot shake these feelings, no matter how diligently I try to suppress them. They have been resurfacing consistently throughout our relationship, and I understand that I should have addressed them earlier. My question is, am I wrong to feel this way, and should I speak to him about it? Should I explore these feelings in secret? If you have read this far, I hope you do not see me as a selfish or guilty person. I struggle with that perception of myself, Yet I am also seeking guidance on this matter and attempting to make room for my own feelings because they extend beyond a desire for casual encounters. I'm not sure if I see myself truly dating someone else, which adds to my confusion. I apologize for the lengthy post. Thank you.